Welcome. Welcome back. Alright. I hope you enjoyed drawing the Mandalorian and Baby Yoda. Let me adjust this, make sure everything's good to go. See my hand? Light. That's what we need. Need that light. Okay. Welcome back. Sorry about the technical difficulties. I think it has to do with the light. We're in focus. So, again, like talking about things to draw around the house, just to get you going. This is a neat idea. These are miniatures from the game HeroClix by WizKids. I got a whole bunch of these. These are neat because these will help you draw the form, the male form, even though it's exaggerated a bit. I think I'll do a video where I'm drawing from a wooden dummy, but this is still something to practice with. Or if you have any kind of little miniatures like this is like a Dungeons and Dragons miniature that I bought back in the late 90s. This one's probably a little bit easier. But notice the shapes and things. It's like a diamond shape almost right there. You know, long, sharp, a skinny triangle there. You know, and just look at that and then use that as a basis for drawing the human figure, or at least practicing a figure light. So I'll try to do an outline of him in, let's see, I'll do him this way, 10 seconds. So here you go. 3, 2, 1, here we go. Alright, so there it is already. The basic shapes. Again, I did it kind of light. This is like a triangle top. That's like an arrow point. This is a little technique I use for the torso up top here. And then the bottom is kind of like a bell, because he's kind of got this long kind of tight skirt kind of thing going on here, right there. And he's got these metal boots. Alright, so the basic, where his arm's going to be, where the shield is, his torso and his bottom torso, a skeletal line. Now notice how much bigger from where the top of his feet are to where his torso is. It's almost twice as tall as his chest and torso region. That's good. You want, you know, the legs and thighs up here to be longer than the chest. That's proportioning like that, just a bit. There's a head. In fact, I think it's something like 8 heads. So this head's pretty big here. In fact, the head's a little bit too big. So let's bring it down to size for an egg shape right there. Now we'll do a little bit more of the shape detail based on this, you know, going from this here. A circle for his hand. Again, we're practicing drawing shapes in proportion to the human figure. That's what we're practicing, and it's not a bad thing to practice, especially when you can look at something for reference. Right here could be the ground. So these things kind of go up like this, or at least I think that's the idea of them. So small triangles for the layers of metal on his boots. Alright. And then this just goes down in the middle. Kind of like an old medieval English fighter there. And that leaves eye there, eye here. Just a straight line going across. That's a little bit too low. Let's bring it up for a neutral expression. And let's make this point in the middle between these two so it's more, yeah, it's more even. Now look at how his shield, it kind of, there's a curve right there, so it's not like a traditional perfectly shaped shield. There's a design mold to it. And do a parallel line to kind of do that. And the rest is just details, really. But here we established he's got some clothes over the armor. This is his helmet. That's a sword. And these are metal boots. All in under 10 minutes, with starting off with that 10 minutes or 10-second sketch to get us going. And he has kind of like a gauntlet on, like a metal like gauntlet, so make it kind of a rigid. And I just do some parallel lines for his fingers right here. Bring it down, and that's where his thumb is. It doesn't have to be perfect. That's why they're sketching. That's why you have a sketchbook, you know, next to your bedpost or in your jacket. You're practicing shapes from the things that you see in everyday life, or things that you like to draw if you're lucky. And this is good because here's scales right here, because I have a reference. I don't have to go online and get the computer, turn the computer on, and look back and forth. I have it right here in my hand. That's a nice reference. And this is like a mesh right here. It's a lot like the old English, British fighters with the mesh of like scale chainmail. I'll just do this because it's a little bit easier to do. Improvise here a bit. Draw a line in the middle of the sword. Alright. And here there's little triangles for a little bit of a design flourish. Alright, so that's pretty reasonable. And if you want to go in, take a look at his eyes. We can do a light line, like a real subtle U, for establish an eye line. And do little dots right there. And then under those dots, real small U's. And then you can put in some eyebrows. Just a couple lines right there. And then you can commit more to this helmet. Put more pressure down on those lines if you want. Okay. And you can do a slight U for the skin fold between his nose and his mouth. And you basically got a fighter right there. That's what you got. Alright. So that was fun. I enjoyed that one. And I got some drawing practice in, so thank you guys. I'll see you in the next video. Maybe I'll do this guy too, I don't know. 10 seconds a day.